What is it today? Friday, little improv here early today. Man, what an amazing day in Nashville. I'm coming to you, of course, Guthrie Chap here, coming to you from beautiful East Nashville, Tennessee, one of my favorite parts of the world. And man, it is a glorious day. It's going to be, I think it's getting up to like 71 degrees here today, and there's not a cloud in the sky. Man, what a great week this has been. I hope everybody's having a great week and has had a great week. Hung out with my buddy Jack Rouge and Josh Smith last night. Went and picked him up at his hotel, and he's in town rehearsing with Joe Bonamassa. Jack Rouge, my good buddy and neighborhood coffee mate here, he played at the Underdog last night at 8 o'clock with a great band. John Prine's bass player for a long time, Dave Jakes, Jeffrey Clements from G Love and Special Sauce on the drums, and they do a really cool blues night at the Underdog on Thursdays. I play on Mondays, they play on Thursdays. Josh Smith is playing tonight with one of my favorite bass players and human beings on the planet, Steve Mackey, who also is now playing with Joe Bonamassa. You know him, you love him. And so, and a guy named Lamar Carter on drums, who I don't know yet. I'm going to meet him for the first time today. I'm going to go swing by. Me and sweet Corey Congilio, my good buddy who was hanging there last night, we shot some pool, and going to see Joe and those guys rehearse today at the sound check here in Nashville. But yeah, man, just a great week. The weather's been amazing. Updating some stuff around the house, had some free time, taught some lessons. Played Monday night. The trio is just absolutely on fire. I'm loving playing with this trio. Jordan Perlson on the drums and cymbals, Tim Marks on the Fender bass. And man, I absolutely love going and playing as a trio. The freedom, the space, the way this goes, and of course on cue, here we have the train, the old East Nashville whistle, the train coming by here. So excuse that. Anyway, man, I know I've been neglecting this YouTube channel, and for good reason. I've just been really busy. The thing with the duo with John Oates is going really great. We're going to the Northeast in March, and then over to Europe a couple times this year. I'm going to go to Spain on vacation and check that country out. Try to do a new country every year at least. The Bahamas were amazing. Nice little way to recharge the battery. I got to tell you, man, life is good. Still trying to keep the weight down. You know, I've been cheating here a little bit, here and there. Still, 95% no booze. I've been having a little wine with dinner, but, very little. Broke the habit there. Feel great. Other than that, I'm playing the Danocaster Strat here. I hope you like that. It's got a really nice tremolo system here. I'll play you a nice, this chord here, man. This is a bitch of a chord, and I'm trying to play it in tune. Let me get my volume up here. Really hard chord to get on the fly. Man, I get the E string is still buzzing. There we go. Nice wide chord there. But anyway, yeah, the tremolo setup on this thing. So when you're using your vibrato bar, you don't want it to sound like it's not natural. If you do it and you start wanging on it a little too hard, it's kind of, you got to be careful. So you want it to be an extension of the chord that you play or the note that you're playing. So if I play this chord, I just want that to come in as a nice effect, almost like a wave coming in or something like that. But these lessons have been shorter just because due to time constraints and stuff. But as always, I'll say check the links out below for anything educational related. But I will say this: I'm doing in addition to Artist Works, which is going famously, man. The Artist Works thing, man. If you guys are signing up for that, it's really, I'm getting a bunch of positive feedback from that. Another thing that I'm doing is, in addition to the Artist Works, which is economically, very nice, and then also the fact that you learn these lessons with Artist Works in your own time, right? And so I also do the private lessons on Zoom. I do the in-house lessons here, which are a little bit more at my house, and then I'm offering the full day 2 or 3 day guitar immersion experience where we do coffee, we do breakfast, we do 2 hours of filmed lessons right here in this music room. And then we do lunch, then we take a break, then we do a tour of Nashville, anything you want to do. And then that night we go out and hear a bunch of live music and meet a bunch of characters and have some fun and hang out with a bunch of awesome Nashville musicians. So there's 3 different tiers of personal lessons and then the Artist Works curriculum. So man, there's a lot going on. The touring with John Oates, we have a partnership now with this duo. He's letting me do some songs by myself in these amazing performing arts centers, playing acoustic guitar with the ear trumpet microphones. It's just an absolute blast. And so I love that guy to death. Anyway, rocking on here, I wanted to try to simplify a couple things for you. If you're playing over the blues, say you're playing G, C, G, D, just blues changes, 1, 4, 5, dominant 7 chords. Try playing the same riff over each chord. So if I play out of this shape, the G7, if I go, that's outlining that total chord. So we've got to see these notes in these chords. I know I've said this a million times, but this is ultimately important. If you play this chord, you need to see those notes and what that chord is made of. And then I'm seeing that flat 7 right there. So I'm seeing, that's the arpeggio. Now if I go, I'm sliding into that major third. You never want to slide from the major third to the minor third. You always want to slide minor third to major third. So if I'm going, I'm going up the Mixolydian scale, or I call it the dominant 7 scale. That's it. It's the major scale with the flat 7. Super important. You can use that over every dominant 7 chord in its key. So if I play the G dominant 7 chord, I'm using G Mixolydian or dominant 7 scale. If I go to C7, I'm playing C dominant 7 scale. D7, because that flat 7 note resolves back to the major third. So the flat 7 of each chord you're playing resolves back to the major third of the next chord. If I play G to G7, that F note is resolving to the 4 chord, which is C, going to that major third. So if I play C7, that flat 7 in C is resolving back up to the major third of G. If I play D7, that flat 7 of D is resolving to the major third. So they're all a half step away, and it's because of this tritone. Watch this. That's C. So if you play this tritone, major third, flat 7 over the 1, that's the major third of G, the flat 7 of G, which gives you the dominant 7 chord. If I move that back a half step, now this G string is the flat 7 of C, and that's the major third of C. So you're not changing the shape. You're just changing the what fret you're on. You're going back a half step. Those are like these Freddie Green rhythm chords that are like 3-note blues jazz chords. So they sound really clean. So when I move to the C chord, the G is staying in the bass. I'm just going from here, and that drops right down into there. When I go to the 5 chord, A is in the bass, the major third. So that tritone, when I move to D, the 5 chord, now the G string becomes the flat 7 of D and the major third of G of D, just like it was over the C chord, then back to the root. So I'm looking at how that works with playing lead guitar. So if I go G7, now those lines are out of that chord shape. So if I go, and you got to hear this while you're playing it and sing along with it to get the rhythm in your head. That makes learning stuff so much easier if you sing along to the line that you want to play to. So if I go, bum, 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 bum. Now I'm using the 6, the E note, to get to the flat 7, so it's just not, that's an arpeggio. This is a line. Like, so if I just did this. Let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an interesting rhythm there for that line, but you get the idea. So if I just go, okay, that right there is a line. I'm not really playing this in the right rhythm, but you get the idea. So the same riff, that's a complete thought, right? So the lead guitar playing and the phrasing is directly related to the language. So we've got an alphabet, we've got phrases that we're trying to put together, words we're trying to build, ultimately sentences and punctuation that make sense. So if I just did this, you'd be like, that note really doesn't work. Where are we going? That doesn't make any sense. That would be like me saying, hey, I'm going to the, and you'd be like, okay, going to the what? And you got to go, okay, I'm going to the store. Okay, cool. That makes sense. But if I just end in a place that doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So I got to put that punctuation on there. It's very much like crafting a sentence or a story or a paragraph with playing. And so it can go as short or as long as you want. Very much like language. It is a language. We're speaking a language here. Luckily, my music language is probably way better than my English language. And so there's that. But so anyway, moving right along. So what I'm saying is learn one of these riffs. And I'm just going right back down. And I'm ending on that little hammer on to the major third. Right out of that G shape. Or that G chord. E shape, G chord. And then if I go to C, go to D. Okay, so I learned it there. Okay, now let's learn it in the A shape chord right here, so we don't have to move all the way up the fingerboard. I'm going to go G, C, D, G, C, D. So resolving back to G, right? So we want to be able to use these. So that's a great way to start navigating through this in a simpler way than taking on all these chord shapes together. We want to be able to play, because we're repeating ourselves up the neck all the time. So we want to be able to play in this shape, you know, it's all about, okay, G, C, D, G, you know. That's just G, C, D, G, C, D, G. I'm just breaking these chords into their really small parts, right? You know, right there, breaking these big sections down. So if I go, I'm doing it everywhere I possibly can. If you know what note to start on, if I'm starting on G and starting on C and starting on D, you should be able to find that with your ear in each one of these chord positions. So that's a good little lesson. Again, there's another riff that's really good for outlining these 9 chords, which the 9 chord, I'm looking at a combination of the A shape and the C shape, because I'm stealing the third from the C shape to play that line out of there. So this is a great blues line that really works great. And it's a combination of outlining the arpeggio and then adding a little bit more to it, so it doesn't just sound like an exercise. So with that being said, this is a great little riff. And so you might have heard Stevie Ray Vaughan or some old blues cats playing this, but it outlines this 9 chord really nicely. So this is the line. Just those 3 strings. So that's a straight C. I'm in the key of C now, so we can use this 9 chord down here. But so a straight E, straight C9 chord, I'm outlining the chord. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Straight C7 arpeggio, but I'm adding then coming back up, major, third, 4, 5, 1. So the whole line is, and it's got this triplet feel, kind of rolling feel to it. So the rhythm would be like this. That was F. Now go to G, F, C. There's a great turnaround riff. You got to know this. Blues 101. C, right up the major pentatonic, to the F, back to C, up to G, chromatically, right? So, or whatever you want to do there. So then the turnaround you can use in all the blues stuff is, sorry. You can always climb up to the 1 from the 5. Watch. G. Great blues chord right here. So if I'm playing, let's go to like let's go to G, because these voicings are all depending on where you want to be on the fingerboard. So I don't want to play this voicing in C way up there. I'm going to go to G. Let's go to the key of G for a minute and play right here. So this is a great 9 chord, right? So it's F, B, E, and G. Think of an E minor chord and just raise the E to a G. Now watch this. So now my C9 is right here. D, C, G. Really tight, cool jazz blues voicing for like a shuffle, right? A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to the 4. To the 5. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong fret. So yeah, the root note is on the B string. So if you're gonna walk up chromatically, just remember F. The root note's gonna be on the B string. So there's a little. I might as well throw this in. Here's a great turnaround too. I probably showed you before, but G, D, E in the D string, F, G, and then pinch this. Like Robert Johnson, right? So G note on the E string 3rd fret, F note on the D string 3rd fret. Just pinch these 2 strings, D and E, and then go chromatically down on the D string. Watch. And it's like, this is the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the riff is to the 5 chord D, back to the 1. That starts your blues song, right? So watch. You can also do like, you can do a little syncopation. Here's a more complicated one. Just throwing all kinds of stuff in there. So if you want to take the deep dive, check out the links below for All Stuff Lessons. I got a new website coming soon. Just had a great meeting yesterday ramping up the digital marketing and promotions this year, taking this business to a new level. And then, yeah, man, all kinds of great stuff. I know I keep saying that, but this year is going to be amazing. So thanks so much for all the positive feedback. Thanks for sticking with this channel, even though I'm very inconsistent. And I know I keep saying I need to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday at a certain time, but man, that's really hard to stick to. Stay healthy, stay happy. Signing off from East Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm gonna go enjoy some beautiful sunshine, go hang with some guitar pals, and we'll see you guys real soon. Thanks again. All right, bye.